Oh boy, Adam, Brett, you guys there?
Hey, what's up?
Oh
Hey, I'm here.
man, today is a good day. I am. Wait till you. I want to see what everybody's doing. I decided to go with the sitting outside, almost on a beach look. For those of you joining us, welcome to the Social Distance Drinking Club. Today's episode. I think we're on episode 5, right?
That's the best one.
I love it. What are you guys drinking?
I'm about to open up my new Orthodox M43 Hazy IPA.
That sounds dangerous. Adam?
Bottle Logic, sliced beer coat. It's actually very scientific. Hazy IPA.
Well, in the spirit of beach, I went with a good old gin and tonic with some local and delicious Cask Works tea gin.
And chest also. Yeah.
Hey, listen, this is an optional thing. If you don't want to bust out the chest and feel like you're on a beach, that's your problem, not mine. Okay?
I think it's our problem right now.
I know somebody who likes doing that more than you, the other Adam. So bye, Mr. Ledford.
What is up, guys?
You're outside. Lose a button and join the party. Let's go. One button down.
Let's beach this thing.
Love it. There it is.
Right.
Stogie? No?
No, Stogie. I literally have cleaned out the local bottle shop down here, Caps and Corks, of the last of their R&D. I am sad to see this one go. I'm not even a wheat IPA fan usually, but holy crap, this is good.
Well, what a shame. The birds seem to be singing happily in your backyard, though.
I think that's mine.
That's Brett, yeah.
Well, for those of you joining us, welcome, guys. We've got Jack Maxwell joining us here in a couple of minutes. If you've got questions, throw them in the chat, and we'll pull them up. And we're going to have a quick chat with him in the next couple of seconds. Actually, probably about a minute or so. So just catching up, Brett, how was your quarantine weekend?
It's been pretty good so far. Been lying around the house a little bit. Got through all of Tiger King in the last 4 days, which was quite the trip.
Everybody's talking Tiger King right now, and I don't understand it. I just haven't connected.
You will.
Well, I saw there was a meme going around on Facebook. I saw somebody with Stefan from SNL doing the Tiger King has everything, a gay throuple, tigers, murder for hire. It's not exaggerating.
Oh, hold on a second. Adam Green's waving his arms angrily. He's got something to say about Tiger King. And then Jack Maxwell, 90 seconds out, I'm going to bring him in. We're going to have a great conversation. But Adam, since you're waving your arms about Tiger King, yes?
No, I had nothing to do about Tiger King. I just wanted to be on the show.
Oh, okay. See you later, buddy. Well, now that Adam's gone. Brett, Adam, other Adam, everyone who's hanging out waiting. Jack Maxwell waiting for him to just pop back in here for us, and he just did. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett, I'll come back to you in a second. Jack, can you hear me?
Hey!
What's going on? Hey, thanks for joining us today.
How's it going? What's that?
Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Am I button appropriate?
I think you're good as long as you've got enough chest going on, and it's good enough. It's good enough.
I'm inside, so I'm going to button up, unlike you, down at the beach, or outside anyway.
It's my fake beach. This is the quarantine beach.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm here as well, inside.
Costa de COVID, as I like to call it.
Nice.
So what are you drinking over there?
Well, I know you were going to be drinking, so I'm going to make it right here.
Okay. All right.
Here's the thing about drinking to me. Now, we eat for all different kind of reasons, I guess, mostly to sustain ourselves. Otherwise, we'll fall down if we don't eat, right? If we don't have protein and carbs and everything else. And we eat for taste. I think we drink for different reasons than that, though. It's not so much about feeding the body, but feeding the soul, right? Making us feel better about whatever, or connecting maybe to something that we just can't quite reach. But oftentimes, it's you drink whatever's there, right? So in this case, I'm moving, and my place is a mess, as you can see. And there's a great echo, in here, because there's nothing here. So I had to go dig up. I had one little thing in the cabinet. I always save that. It's my emergency bottle. So I have a little airplane bottle of Chairman's Reserve rum from St. Lucia Distillers. I was in St. Lucia, And so we're going to do that. I'm going to do a little rum right here. Pour that right in, the whole shot, because I don't have 2 shots. And it's going to do very simple. We're going to do a little rum and cola. But I'm going to put a little twist on that. I'm going to add a lime. Aren't you sorry you asked me what I'm drinking? This is a lot longer segment than you thought, right?
Hey, listen, I'm loving
So
it.
I'm going to make it, we know what that's called when we add lime, right? A Cuba Libre.
There you go.
Cuba Libre. Cuba Libre. All depends how you say it. And then I'm going to stir it up and enjoy a nice drink with you and the boys.
Cheers.
Salud.
So speaking of moving out, obviously you split your time right now between Phoenix and LA, correct?
Yeah, well, it was LA for 25 years, and then I came down with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I decided I should get out of Hollywood and go somewhere where I could just relax, be peaceful, try to heal. I knew I had one chance at this, so I wanted to do it the right way. He said, having a glass of alcohol, but I'm all healed up now. At least the scan says so. So I did 4 months. For those who don't know, and many of you do, I started chemo in November 2017. 4 months of heavy chemo, and then 2 years of maintenance chemo. So I just wrapped that and just finished. And then I came down with osteomyelitis, which means your bone dies. So I had a pick in my arm for a month. So every day I drove myself to the hospital, had to get antibiotics, and I couldn't have a drink all month, all of February. But I wrapped that. I'm good now, and I'm back on the road to health. So yes, I go back and forth from Phoenix to LA, but not right now because everything's locked down. So I'm
right. So, I mean, at least you're in one place and you're safe. It looks like you started moving out, and then you're on pause now, or?
No, I'm just gonna wait to go to LA for a little while. So I'll stick around and live in shambles. No, I'll figure something out, and then it's off to LA to go back to pitch some shows and hopefully come up with some more material for television. But in the meantime, I'll be here. I'll be doing things like this with you. I have my own virtual happy hour I have scheduled. Maybe you could be a guest online. And
that'd be great.
And I have my own YouTube channel now. And then you can find that at Twitter and Instagram. I'm Selfie Jack. Every time I say that, someone thinks I say Selfie Jack, but it's Southie. It's my old neighborhood. SOUTHIEJACK. There you go.
Yes, sir.
And
I just shared a quick screenshot of that page, but for everyone listening, I'm going to throw up the. You can pretty much at that right there, pointing in the right direction. Southie Jack for anything. You can find him on Instagram, Twitter, even Facebook. It's /Southie Jack. Tell us a little bit about what you're working on right now. So you got that Name That Quarantine deal going on Twitter. I've watched those. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm going to move a lot of content over to YouTube. So if you can, folks, please join my YouTube channel. And the links are in my bio. You should be able to find it pretty easily. And if you know my face, then you should there's a lot of Jack Maxwells. I can't believe there are that many Jack Maxwells. There's a tech guy, there's a magician, there's a 90-something-year-old guy who's on there. So I'm this one. I'm this guy, the guy who drinks and likes to have a good time. But
there you go.
I've made a pivot recently. I'll tell you about that in a second.
Yeah, please do. And I'm gonna actually pull up just share the screen here and show everybody your YouTube page. You just launched this in the last couple of days, right?
Yesterday, I think. Yesterday, yeah.
Okay. So you've already got a few of those videos up.
Yes, I do.
I like it. Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about the pivot you made. Obviously, there's been a transition since your time on the Travel Channel.
Yeah, after I came down with cancer and I did chemo, one of the side effects was I couldn't sleep. So I ended up trying CBD on the recommendation of a friend, and it helped. And I figured there'd be a lot of other stories out there. People who might not be experienced with cannabis and might be resistant for this reason or that, but maybe mostly because we were lied to about it. We were misinformed about what it is and what it does, because there are a lot of people who are really getting help from CBD. Now, I'm not pitching any CBD company. I don't represent any brand. This Chairman's Reserve, I'm not trying to plug them. I'm doing this for my own purposes because I was helped so much by CBD, and I wasn't a cannabis user before that. And I know when you combine it, full spectrum CBD and THC, the benefits increase. So it seems to me that since 1937, I guess, when it was put on the prohibited list, THC at least, hemp is now legal due to the Farm Bill. But a lot of people are getting benefits. So I go interview people who normally wouldn't use cannabis. Older folks, people in red states that found it offensive to their way of life and their religion and everything else. Pets who have been benefiting from that. So it's called The High Road with Jack Maxwell. We'll be releasing segments of it, I think, sometime soon on YouTube or something like that. But basically, that's the pivot, although I still enjoy a nice cocktail.
So we went from booze to buds. I like it.
Maybe if we could have a nice dice game, we could cover every vice.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
What else you want to do?
So we got a few questions that came in the chat here. I'm going to pull a couple of them out. PJ says, what place that you've traveled has surprised you the most?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, a lot of places, honestly, if you want the honest answer, and I try to give that every time, a lot of places surprise you because you can be somewhere or think you have an idea of what a place is like, but you never know until you put your feet on the ground. I mean, I say Paris, what do you think? The Eiffel Tower. But you don't know about the people walking in and out of little cafes and the interactions you'll have in side alleys with people that are coming or going. They might be tourists, they might be locals. Every place surprised me just a little bit. But if you want an answer to the question, the beauty of Tahiti took my breath away. It was so stunning. The water was clear all the way up to maybe 10 feet deep. It was like looking into a pool.
Oh, yeah.
With beautiful bright blue, you could see the stingrays and the fish. And it was just stunning. So I think that the physicality, the beauty, the topography of Tahiti surprised me certainly the most. But I could go off on that subject for an hour.
It's one of those things that I feel the same way about. I think I did a count on countries, and I'm blessed to be at my young age have gone to 21 countries. And like you said, you think of one thing from every city, like Paris, the Eiffel Tower, but it's those side streets and the locals and everybody that's the real culture that like feeds my soul when I'm traveling. So I feel you on that.
I think so too. It's always been about the people. I'll come back from a trip and I won't remember the structures I've seen, even if it's something like Mount Everest. I mean, it's a beauty to behold. But I always came back when people ask me, oh, you were just Tanzania, Mongolia, Japan, Nepal, Taiwan, Lithuania, wherever you were. Tell me about it. And I was always telling them stories of people I met. Yes, drinks I had, because it was basically a show about what people drink and why they drink it. And of course, the stories they tell when they do. But it was the culture that impressed me and how they were. And I realized we're really a lot alike. So it was always about the people, never about the place. Not often, anyway.
Love it. Now, so I saw this question coming from a mile away, and I'm going to bring a couple of my co-hosts back in a moment. But of course, what is your favorite go-to cocktail is the question here.
Well, I think I was talking about at the top of the show here. I don't have one thing that I just drink, and I'll tell you why. It's not what I'm drinking; it's who I'm with and what I'm doing. Quite honestly, like if I was with you right now and we have a beach vibe going on, maybe I'd have a nice G&T with a big bulbous glass like they do in Spain, so you can really bring in all the aromas of it. If I'm with friends and we're at a ball game, a nice cold beer, maybe a craft beer, something really nice. If it's hot out, a mojito. If I'm with a certain group of friends, I know they love wine with dinner, we'll do that, or a single malt scotch. I don't have a go-to. I mean, my spirit, I love rum because as a kid, it reminded me of pirates and everything else and nice, beautiful blue water and palm trees and white sand. And I grew up in the opposite of that on the East Coast in Boston. We had none of that, really. None of the beaches were nice. The weather's not that great most of the time. So rum, but I'm really getting into mezcal now. And,
nice.
I liked to do that at one time. But they're making some really nice artisanal mezcals, and it's smoky and rich, like a peaty scotch in some ways. So I love it all almost, just about everything.
There you go. I'm the same way. I mean, I've got a spirit of choice. It's usually gin for me, but I like a nice drink. It depends on the environment and the vibe. So
Yeah, you know, Scotland has all the ingredients that you'd find in a gin right around it. So people are now thinking maybe gin was invented in Scotland. I know it was Geneva or Geneva, however you want to say it, in the Amsterdam area, right? They have a place called Three Little Bottles. And
I went there.
Rembrandt drank there. And
Really?
the forerunner to gin was this Geneva. But at the same time, they find all the ingredients in Scotland. They think it was there. So now they're making beautiful gin now. So again, it's always about the place and the people, never really about the drink. And the place only tied to the people.
Well, and speaking of the people, a couple of my favorite people who I started this with last week when we all started self-quarantining, I'm going to bring them in. I've got Brett Barry here and Adam Green. Hey, guys, can you hear us?
I hear you.
Yep. Cheers.
Awesome.
Hey
Lots
guys,
of stories,
Adam,
Jeff.
Brett, what's happening?
This is great. Enjoying your tales about what's, your reasons for being into this. I think it's an inspiration to alcoholics everywhere. That's not about the drinking, it's about the people. So thank you.
I don't know if those two tie in, but okay, I'll let you.
So I have a question that ties into us having this conversation in the self-quarantine days that we're in. Have you been self-quarantining? You've been at home. Obviously, with your situation, you're immunocompromised, so you would be at a risk right now, right?
Well, yeah, I stay in for the most part. Go to the grocery store if I have to. I have a couple of my folks live here, so I make sure they're taken care of. As you can see, I haven't been out to the barber in a while. My hair is getting really long and messy and thick and everything else. So I'm doing my best to do my part. I saw this great thing on social media, and people want to make fun of social media and everything else. But to me, oftentimes, not always, it's inspiring. And I saw this graphic. It said, your grandparents were asked to go to war to save you. You're just being asked to sit on the couch to save
I saw that.
Stay
Yep.
home. Wasn't that great?
I saw that. It was hilarious. It was like, just sit at home, man. That's all you got to do.
So I have to do my part. I mean, I know you want to go outside and be with friends, and this really changes the dynamic. So many things that, I like to think I don't take things for granted, but sometimes they're in the back. Let's just say that they're in the back of your mind. So now, being outside at a park and being around folks and saying hi to people and seeing kids run around and play and hearing their happy laughter and all of that, I'll appreciate that for the rest of my life now.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the first thing you want to do, or person you want to see that maybe you've self-quarantined yourself from as soon as this thing's over?
I haven't really seen my mother. I had to stay at a distance. She doesn't live far from me here in Phoenix. I moved here, like I said, to do chemo, and I wanted to be near her because I didn't see her during the whole run of Boost Travel. I was on the road maybe 10 months a year, so I didn't get to see her a lot, just holidays and when we weren't filming. So I just want to, I've seen her, but at a distance. So I just want to go give her a big hug and tell her I love her and tell her without her, I'm nothing. She gave it all to me, and I get to do what I do because of the way she raised me and the life she gave me. So she's the first person I want to see without a doubt.
Yeah, I've had to.
Hey, cheers.
So moms everywhere.
Absolutely. Cheers to moms. I've had to keep my distance as well, and then my mother I was worried because my mother got sick, and then my dad got sick, and then I was like, oh, I think it's just allergies, and they said, don't come home. Don't even stop by. We don't want to see you.
I know. I was out at the grocery store the other day, and I sneezed, allergies or whatever, and everybody looked at me like they wanted to kill me. I mean, I did it to the elbow and everything. And I don't know that sneezing is one of the symptoms of coronavirus. I think it's a dry hack cough.
Yeah.
It's not a runny nose. But people honestly looked at me as if I just stole their wallet. It's unbelievable.
If you so much as sniffle slightly loud around anybody right now, they're just going to yell COVID and run away. I promise.
The first thing I wanted to say is I don't have the corona. I don't have COVID-19. But I resisted that because you shouldn't have to do that. That's the basis of all prejudice, bias, racism, whatever, is judging someone either based on what they look like or maybe something they say or do, whatever. None of that should exist. If I have Corona, I'll stay home. I'll stay home anyway. But just because I sneeze, they looked at me like they wanted to burn me at the stake, like I was a witch. Or if I would sink, I'm a duck, or whatever that Monty Python thing. They wanted to kill me for sure.
That's I'm pretty sure I coughed while like riding my bike down the road the other day, and someone decided to jog across the street from me. So that happened.
You're lucky they didn't throw a rock at your head.
Yeah. Knock me off the bike. It's a zombie movie.
What you got
Killing
to is if you go to a store and see like shelves filled with toilet paper, just sneeze and start coughing, and it's all for you.
Yeah, I don't. You know, some of the people are doing that for jokes. They're sneezing on produce and coughing and things like that. This is not the time to work out new material. Please listen to me, folks. That's not funny. That's not funny. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay home. Write your jokes at home. Don't do these physical prank humor stuff. Don't joke about Corona, please. It's not worth it, and it's not funny.
Unless, of course, you're just drinking a Corona. That's fine, right? Then it's like that's a fair
That's a
joke.
sight gag.
Yeah.
Don't say anything about it. Let it live. Let it be understated. Drink it, post it, and that's it. I get it. It's been done a million times, but don't sneeze on the bananas. Whatever you do.
If you're drinking Corona for a gag, you're basically just stealing Carrot Top's current material.
That's it. That's right. I'm
So,
sure many people have done it.
So we've got another question here in the chat. Heath Miller wants to know what your favorite episode of Booze Traveler is.
Hey,
He's
what's happening?
in Tennessee.
That's another tough one, too. I mean, we did 63 episodes of Booze Traveler itself, 10 episodes of Booze Traveler Best Bars. And then I did a show called The Trip, 3 of those for them, where we go around the world and give away a vacation. That was pretty fun. But as far as episodes, I do have a favorite, and I'll tell you why. I got to bring my mother on an episode. You know how much I love and adore her. I brought her to Sicily because the network and the production company asked me, where do you want to go? And I said, well, how about Sicily? Because I have family there I've never met. And we went to Ciamina, small little town. I think Scorsese is from there. And it was like I was coming home from the war, like they just saw a ghost. And again, we never met. They gave me a big hug, and they're crying and tearing up and putting all this food in front of me and drinks, and the mayor issues a proclamation, and the band is playing. And it's not just because I had a TV show and we were filming. They do that to my other cousins who live in Chicago when they visit. They're just, this reminds me of what family should really be. I mean, family is everything to them. And it made me feel like I was missing something, that closeness, because I was always traveling and trying to be an actor or a host and going all across wherever the job would take me. And that slowed me down. And just to see the joy on their faces interacting with my mother, talking about her grandfather who was born there. So I would have to say probably based on that alone, that's my favorite episode. But
I love that, man. That is amazing.
That's great.
So we talked about the quarantine situation that you're doing. You've played a few songs. Tell us more about your whole guitar situation, because Brett here is actually, Brett's this way. I got to figure out how to point because everything's mirrored. There's Brett down there. Okay. He's a guitar player. Actually plays pretty well. Yeah, there he is.
Wave, that'll do it.
Well, here's the thing about that. I'm not a guitar player. This is what makes the game fun. I pick a guitar up every 5 or 10 years, and I never play long enough to get good. But I play by ear. I just try to pick out tunes, right? And chords now and then. Maybe someone will show me something, but then I'll forget about it for a decade or so. So I figured while I'm on the inside, why not work on that a little bit? So I got this cheap old $69 guitar that I don't know how to tune. And I just figured I'd pick out some songs, and then people would try to guess. And I've been doing it for a week, and I'll have a video cocktail with the winner. Oddly enough, that's what we're doing now. And I don't know how to play, but see, that's what makes it nice. Because if I did, so what? Like Brett, if he played, we would know every single song that he's playing. But for me, it's hard to like guess this one. Ready?
Jumping Jack Flash.
Yeah, but that's it. See, I even screwed that up. How about this one?
Hotel California.
Almost. People think it's that. I was trying to play Angie by the Stones, but I might have screwed it up. Anyway, that's called Quarantunes, or Name That Quarantune. And it's on, for now, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But I think I'm going to move it over to my YouTube channel. So there you
I
go.
love it. Yep. And the YouTube channel, for those of you just joining us, I'm going to show them again. Just a quick screenshot of that right there. Jack Maxwell, his new YouTube channel. And the Quarantunes, where you can guess a song and win some time to have a cocktail with Jack. So we were talking about family a moment ago, and there's one other person who loved joining us on this show. I'm going to take a step back and let Adam Ledford come in. We're going to have a quick conversation. And I was thirsty because I need a refill. I'll be right back. I'm going to put Adam in. Adam Ledford, welcome to the party. I'll be right back.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Jack, I had a question for you. You know, a lot of times we talk about sensory memories and those things that we eat or drink that kind of take us away from that place. Like the scene in Ratatouille where the chef like has the bite and it takes him back to his childhood. You've had the opportunity to go to so many different places and try so many different things. Have you ever had one of those kind of surprising moments that just kind of took you away from where you were back to something that you weren't expecting?
Absolutely. And not only that, if I have a drink now, and it doesn't have to be an exotic one, but something I had on the show, it just propels me back to that place. Even more so. I think that's even stronger. Like I might be somewhere. When I was in Italy, we were in Florence and we had a Chianti Classico, and it reminded me when I was with my family in Boston, we had a big Italian dinner once and we had some Chianti. And it just reminded me of that, of course. But now, because it's more current, whenever I have a Chianti, it reminds me of being in Tuscany and Florence and the wonderful people I met there. So if I have, I don't know, like anything with rum, it reminds me of the islands I went to, St. Lucia, Antigua. Any mojito brings me right back to Havana, because that's where I had the best mojito and a wonderful experience. It looks like it's 1959 there. It's just like the clock stopped and all the cars are from then and they fix them up and keep them. And it just, the drink, to me, that's what I love about drinks. It brings you back to a place and a time. Like smells do that maybe, or a song that you hear brings you back to high school or a certain time. For me now, drinks more than anything bring me back to these episodes. And I'm so grateful to have been able to do that, because now for me, the show lives on. Even though I'm not doing it anymore, I could just pick up a drink. There you go, London. You know, from my time in England and the stuff we had there. And in England, I have maybe the best tasting single liquor. It's called Kendall Mint Cake Liqueur. Look it up, try to find it if you can. Tastes like a melted Andes mint, but better. You know those Andes mints?
Yeah.
If that was melted and not so sugary and had alcohol in it, that's what, it was just wonderful stuff. Really good. So whenever I drink now and I want to go back to a certain place and a certain time that I travel to on the show, I'll choose an alcohol just for that. It brings me right back.
No, that's very cool. Very, very cool. I know, and I apologize, I lost connection earlier, but did we get a chance to ask the question from Heath about what was your favorite Booze Traveler episode?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, we did. Okay, excellent. I know he was really excited about that.
Like I myself am wondering, you know, Jack, doing the show that you've done and everything, did that change the way you approach alcohol in terms of like your enjoyment, or is it more just like, you know what, just having a good time doing this? Like it's like when you become a professional drinker, so to speak, does that change how you approach the industry and the fun?
No, that's a really good point. We got to see so many times how it's made. You know, the distilling process or the brewing process, moonshine in Tennessee, and I have a greater appreciation for the art of making liquor or beer, and especially the art of making a cocktail, because there's so much to it. I was at a place that still today just blows my mind to think about it. It's called Momix in Athens, molecular mixology, and what they do there, it's science and art and It's entertainment, and it's just wonderful. It encompasses all the senses. So for me, alcohol is not just alcohol. Alcohol is a full experience and usually a pretty good memory.
Awesome.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Well, Adam, that was a really good question. Jack, I won't keep you for much longer. Thanks for spending almost a half hour with us on the show so far, having a drink. And if any of you guys, this is funny. Our friend Chris says if you need toilet paper, he's got your name on it. So I think he's got you covered. Otherwise, I started the day, you know.
What a crappy offer.
Yeah, what a kind guy. People offering you toilet paper, Jack. Listen, if you do get that 4-pack, can you split it 4 ways with us?
Absolutely. There are 4 of us here. Everybody gets a roll and a cocktail.
Well, poor Adam Green get
Snuck in just in the nick of time.
All right, guys. Jack, I'm not seeing anything crazy coming up in the questions that we haven't touched on. I'll give you one more quick plug before we let you go. It is Southie Jack on all social media, guys. You can see it down there. We'll add it to this post later. And check his YouTube page. And also him on Twitter. You might get a chance to have the one-on-one conversation, right?
Yeah, and quarantunes every day at 12 noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And we'll keep doing it as long as it's fun and as long as you guys out there want me to do it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks, Jack.
Likewise. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, man. Thank you.
Cheers.
Ah, what a nice guy.
Holy cow, what a nice guy.
That's great.
Right? That was a blast. Those of you still hanging out with us, let's see how quickly viewership drops now. Everyone's like, Jack's good.
By the way, that was fantastic. Though when Jack was like, when I'm on the inside, I'm going to be talking about playing. I'm going to practice my guitar a lot more. It's like when he's got that Southie accent, it just sounds like he's talking about being in prison rather than self-isolation.
You know what he didn't do, and hopefully Jack's still listening and can laugh at this. He's probably making another cocktail. I think I can see him making another cocktail. He's still hanging out.
Nice.
I was also rooting for him to say, like a rum and coke brings me back to the playground in the first grade.
Second grade, he says. Second grade. Well, perfect. Listen, what we didn't get a chance to do, I commend you guys for having the self-control and restraint of not telling Jack how bad my Boston accent is.
Oh, no one wanted to reveal that except you, man.
No, I mean, that's the thing is I was waiting for one of you to be like, hey, Jack, thanks for trying to teach Yusuf how to sound like an actual Southie. Because apparently I'm terrible at it. So, and I'm not even going to give the internet.
There's nothing apparent about it, man. You're bad at it. Like it's.
I'll tell you what I'm good at.
You're not good at it.
I'm really good at this. Cheers. There you go.
I think your faithful following is demanding. They're clamoring for your best attempt at a Boston accent now. I don't think you can tease the people like that.
It's not happening. At this point, I'm just going to talk like this because it's like the way I am dressed. It's the same.
Adam, what you're missing is he was doing it the entire interview.
No, that last 10 seconds was Yusuf's best attempt at a Boston accent.
That's how bad it was. None of us knew he was even attempting it.
Oh, come on. I mean, I don't know.
Brett, you were there. How did we get onto that? I think it was at the Wandering Tortoise, right? When all of a sudden we were just, for some reason, making fun of Yusuf for his Boston accent or what he tried to make a Boston. Like, I didn't even remember exactly how we got onto that, but that became a thing, and I love it as a running joke.
I'm so glad you guys enjoyed that.
It became more of a thing because Yusuf, I will give Yusuf a compliment. He is very good at accents most of the time, and he just kind of struggles with that. And the fact that Yusuf gets so upset with the fact that he can't nail that one, that it is kind of like a staple, it makes it more of a thing, or makes us want to make it more of a thing, like the nice people that we are.
Full disclosure, half the reason I got Jack on here was so I could practice my accent. I'm just going to go back and watch this video over and over and over again.
He was great, though.
You were going to do that anyway. Let's be fair.
Fair enough.
And you know what the best part is, Yusuf? It's going to come out sounding Irish.
Of course it will. Well, we're in the running for the last, I think, 10 or 15 minutes of the show here, or as I like to call it, part 2, because Jack gave us so much of his time. He was extremely generous. For those of you guys who are still stuck with us, I just want to thank you for joining us. And then what's everybody drinking today? Happy Sunday fun day. Amy's got a Cuba Libre. Thank you, Chris. Also, it's I'm going to take a quick second to highlight something very important. It's Brett's birthday today, everybody.
Oh, not a beer. I need to get another one for him.
Yes. This guy.
Wish Brett a happy birthday, please. Anybody who's in the chat, just throw happy birthdays in there. But it is definitely Brett Berry's birthday. Brett, what do you want for your birthday other than the pandemic to stop?
I mean, that would really be a good one. You know, the sad thing is Ellie, my fiance, this morning revealed what was the kind of secret birthday present that she was getting me that got canceled because we were going to go to Nashville for a long weekend next weekend.
Oh.
It did not happen. I've never been, and we were contemplating for a bachelor trip because I've never been, and I've been told I would enjoy it. So I think we're just going to try to delay that and do it once everything clears. Hopefully everything clears before, there's a planned wedding that requires traveling.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
By the way, I brought a whole harem of beers out here.
Nice word.
Whoa. Hey.
Aaron. Is that the 7 stars one?
Hold
No,
on.
that's not delivered yet.
Oh, that's Beehive.
I got a Bad Boy Wally, a Strong Boy Wally, Le Pigeon from Shop, and Arizona Beehive.
Woo! Oh, well, just for the record, Brett, if you check your email, you're going to see that you got a little bit more for your birthday.
Oh.
You son of a bitch.
Did you send him the last 73 cents left on that Visa gift card you can't use?
No, I sent him virtual beer. No, I mean, just check your email and drink up.
Well, thank you, Adam.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It's a recipe for bathtub gin. He's so generous.
Well, what was that?
$30 for beer this morning via Venmo, and I'm like, you don't need to send me cash. It's like, I'm buying you beers. It's like,
people are sending you beer money.
yeah.
That's fine.
Hey, Chris McBeth posted something out that put something out that I didn't know. Apparently, it's National Vietnam War Veterans Day. So, shout out to our veterans and everyone who has and is currently serving.
I'm gonna get more beer. Like, fade me out if you can, so I can.
I need to do the same here in a minute. Can you grab me one?
Hey,
Yeah. What do you want?
hey,
What do we each
by
have
the way,
to make a fun thing where I throw it to you and you catch it?
We'll do that. We'll figure it out.
I want to give a shout out to one of our veteran friends who gave me this. Sam Fraser, I think I saw you. This was delicious. Thank you, buddy. And thanks for your service, man.
Sam's great. Missed that
And
guy.
friend.
Hey, Jennifer Gonzalez says happy birthday, Brett, and she also says she loves your Lone Star shirt. So I guess it's popular, and nobody's loving the lack of shirt. I guess I'll button up. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, in true booze travel mode, I do every time I go to Texas. I basically land at the airport and get a Lone Star before I leave the airport because I'm in Texas and I want to drink the national beer of Texas.
There you go. Oh, Adam, weren't you going to get a beer? I'm sorry, man. I'll pop you out.
Yeah, pop me in, please.
Guys, what should I open of those for? I need some votes.
Okay, so what? We'll put it up to the people in the conversation right now. What were your options there?
Bad Boy Wally, Strong Boy Wally, Arizona Beehive, or Le Pigeon. Le Pigeon.
So Bad Boy Wally, Strong Boy Wally,
Arizona Beehive,
Strong Boy, AZ Beehive, and
Le Pigeon.
is it literally? Is it Le Pigeon?
Yeah.
I just want to sound fancy.
Perfect. And I'm like sitting here, and everybody just hears that, I'm sure. But
Okay, I want to see what the pollster.
If they also hear your shirt.
well, I mean, it's a very loud shirt, and I'm pretty sure at this point I've convinced the neighbors that I'm running a cartel out of my backyard. You know, if you just looked out your window and all you saw was me like furiously typing and just this yelling, that's not gonna. I've turned quarantine into cartel quarantine. So, what should Brett open? Any votes? Beehive, you're getting some bees.
Man, I'm surprised no one wants to see, other than me, him tank a Strong Boy Wally and see how we can turn this interview hard left.
That would be hilarious. Adam, you got to darken that corner, man. I don't know where you're
I
sitting.
know. Yeah, I'm working on it. internet connection is strong.
Perfect. Right there. You're good. Oh, right. Yep. I'd love to just see that one palm tree and the window. That's it.
Sweet. I'll just hold my arms out like this the entire time. Let's see what we can do.
Great. Why don't you
You need to work out. You know?
do some yoga? Oh, you got sunglasses on? Perfect.
Forgot. What is happening? What did I miss?
Adam Ledford looks like he's doing the workouts from Team Z, or Steve Zissou.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So what are you opening, Brett? The votes came in. Everyone says Beehive.
It's a good beer.
All right. Give the people what they want.
All right, Yusuf. I also need to get a beer, so piece me out.
Why do I have to be the last one who gets to go to the fridge every time? Fine.
Just pull yourself out of the thing. It'll just be me and Brett, and we'll just talk.
If I do that, I'm going to come back and there are going to be 3 viewers. And it's going to be your booby.
I love Bobby.
She's a nice
He's a
lady.
big fan of the show.
I know. Adam's grandma's a big fan of the show, guys. For anyone watching out there, she commented, and when she did, I told Adam we've made it. If Bubby loves the show, everyone loves the show. That's
In
it.
fairness, Bubby's biased. Like anything I do, she's going to love. But she loves me so much that she tolerates the rest of you wonderful people. And my alcoholism, apparently. Like, I don't know.
We got to stop convincing people you're actually an alcoholic or that any of us are. I mean,
by the end of all this, we all might be.
I actually, I was talking to my dad on the phone yesterday, my fake phone, and he said yeah.
Oh, Yusuf, you rang?
He said he was at, I can't remember whether it was Tempe Marketplace area or Santan Mall area. They were just driving around because obviously half the malls are basically closed. But Total Wine is open because it's an essential store. One guy came out with 2 carts just stacked full of cases of beer and bottles of booze. And he's like, is the apocalypse coming? And also, is that food? Like, he didn't understand it. And I looked at him, I said, well, if they shut everything down for 2 weeks, that'll probably last him. I mean, that's,
Like, Jack was his drinking is for like the social aspect of it. Like, that's something we always do. We get together, we drink good beers, and obviously we'd rather be drinking these beers together, right? Like, we're not trying to just sit at home and drink beers alone or with our ladies or whoever. It's just like, that's where we're at. And we have these beers and this show and the chance to do these things and have a couple of drinks and hang out virtually.
Yeah.
The best we can do right now. But like, beer is still bringing us together. It's not the reason we're all friends to begin with, but it's certainly a part of our friendship and our relationship, and we still get to hold on to that. Like,
but
that's
it's not just beer. I mean, I'm drinking local. I got Caskworks here, and Tommy Barry, who's watching live on YouTube, wants rum. I actually was in Costa Rica last year and bought some rum. And Tommy, you may have just inspired me to have a pour of a 20-year rum. I might go do that here in a second.
Oh,
good.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could leave you guys alone while I go grab that.
Yeah, we got this.
Why is the rum always gone? And anybody have any questions? Do we want to post to the audience before I leave? He did say, "Why is the rum?"
Jack Sparrow on us?
He asked, man. Tommy asked. He said, "Why is the rum always gone?" Just
Is Tommy Barry related to Brett Barry?
I don't know. Is he?
not that I'm aware of.
Fair point. I didn't think about that. Hey, Tommy, go check Ancestry.com and figure out whether you and this guy have any sort of relation.
There is an interesting, well, maybe not that interesting story of when I was a young adult in like high school and had to go to the hospital for some health stuff at the time, and then randomly got medical records from the doctor that delivered me, who said in the notes that Brett, now as we remember, was the younger of twins. And my mom was like, I'm like, Mom? And she's like, oh, that's weird. And just moved on very quickly. So, true story, by the way.
Fair enough. Hey, can I go get a drink now?
Bye.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know, Brett. If you consider your height, I mean, there's a 99% chance that you absorbed your twin in the womb. I would believe that in a minute.
Brett is basically a person standing on top of another person.
He has 2 different color eyes. Hashtag Brett has 2 belly buttons.
Adam, you're back. What'd you go with?
I am going with Bottle Logic Pie versus Pie.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah,
That's it. It's just so good. Yeah, we're good. Like it's.
By the way, speaking of people that were connecting via alcohol during quarantine, I live not too far from Hilton Brewing yesterday, and they started doing to go. So Ellie and I went over there the other day, or yesterday. There was a guy bringing home a keg for himself, which is, probably getting a.
That's a strong move.
That's a flex.
I mean, here Ellie and I were like, man, do we get the whole growler of this sour plus a 4-pack plus all the stuff that we already have? And then, cut to the chase, we drank that growler last night.
But Brett, you live basically in the Arizona Bermuda Triangle. Like there's so much around you. I'm realizing not living in real Central Phoenix.
He admits it.
Yes. Places don't necessarily want to deliver up my way. I'm too far. Now, granted, like you're not far. Like we're not far from each other. It's a 15-minute drive on the freeway. But these breweries and these bars that are delivering, we are a little bit out of their range that they want to do. Now, I'm sure if I drop a couple $100 on beer, they'll deliver it for me. But also, I have a hard time justifying that in one sitting.
Do you though?
Yes. Now, in 2 sittings, that's fine. That's normal.
Guys,
He's a frugal man.
I'm sorry that took so long. I had to grab something off the top shelf, and since we're in quarantine,
I can't hear Yusuf.
Brett's not here to do it for me. Brett, that means you have to leave and come back. Can you guys hear me?
How does that work?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
All right, bye, Brett.
Hi, Brett. What'd you go with, Yusuf?
Well, Tommy wanted rum. Rum it is, my friends. Centenario 20.
Ooh.
It's a 20-year. It's in Solera barrels. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Obviously, I've gone through a little bit of it in the last year since I've got it, but I am doing something not fair. I am going to put a cube of ice. Some people argue that a 20-year rum shouldn't have any ice on it, but it's hot out today, damn it, and I'm enjoying the fake.
You're on the beach.
Hey, you do you, boo. You do you.
That's a hell of a pour. That might last past the show, guys.
Have you guys ever had Salt Fire Brewing Company?
Never heard of it.
Salt Fire. Apparently, they're big in Japan.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I got this from Casual Pint, and it's really quite good.
Nice.
New England IPA, but it's nice. I'm appreciating it. It's like go ahead.
I was just going to say, speaking, Adam Green, of living in North Central Phoenix, have you been over to Simple Machines yet?
I have been over to Simple Machine. I've been there twice. Once, like right before all this went down, the second time they were doing trivia, and it's like, oh, there's a lot of people here. Oh, but they're solid. I actually just made myself a sticker magnet of theirs today and put it on the beer fridge.
Oh, well, that's how you know you've arrived. If you make it to Adam's sticker converted beer magnet fridge.
Like you got to earn that fridge space. Some places end up losing their rights to be there, and they get taken off the fridge.
And with that being said, I'd like to give a plug to our dear friend Adam Green, who's starting a new Etsy channel or Etsy page, everyone, with our new SDDC logo. So you can get a social distance drinking club sticker magnet handmade by Adam Green. And after the quarantine, hopefully Bubby helps make them too.
No, that'd be great. I need things to do. So yes, please order stickers and I'll turn them into magnets for you.
They are only $27 a piece. A real bargain. I'm going with Etsy pricing here, so.
They come with a roll of toilet paper.
Oh,
I can't do that.
I'll take care of it. I'll get the toilet paper. You make the magnets. Okay.
Well, I'm going to order a bunch of stickers magnets from you and myself.
Great. Well, by the way, guys, I did open a horse sense to go with my rum. So
how is horse sense, Brett? You got a bunch of that, right?
Yes, it's solid. I got a bunch of Wren House beers. I often will be the go-between for some of the younger guys that are just dabbling into the craft beer scene in my office, and I'll bring them in and just give them to them at cost or sometimes just as presents. So I ended up over-ordering on a lot of those recent IPAs as I've been working from home for 3 straight weeks. So between that and Bent Tree, I've had a lot. But Horse Sense is solid.
Let's ask anyone else who, if have you over-purchased?
Yes.
I just bought the Wren House, the 7 stars, and they did like a maximum of 5 per person for the member beer. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy all those, like as many as I can, because it sounds like everything I want in a beer. But, I'm looking forward to drinking that. It's like, it's aged in like 7 different barrels. Yay.
That's some Saguaro World problems right there, man.
Right? Yeah. Well, next time I can see you in September, maybe I'll save one for you.
Yeah, bring one to Brett's and I'll leave it in his fridge for an additional 6 months.
I had those Nutty Buddies for so long. I'm like, I finally get to see Lightford. I'm going to bring them for him. It's a really good beer too.
Brett was asking you something. Go ahead, Brett.
I was going to say, Adam, do you remember when we used to have to share the Toro Society membership beers?
Yeah, now we get to have a bunch of them.
Two of us.
I love it.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that one. And worst case scenario, I've opened up some trade routes from Nashville and Seattle to.
I had a
good return.
How is your trading going? I had a Maryland trade route opened up, and then I feel like everything stopped with the world stopping.
You guys realize you're publicly discussing on a live channel doing something that's definitely not allowed, right?
No, I was going to hand it to them.
Yes,
person.
the trade route.
We were going to meet in the middle, somewhere in the middle of the country, middle America, and we were going to
still bootlegging.
I mean, I'm just laughing at the fact that like 3 white people think they just discovered the fucking Silk Road. Like, who are you guys? Calm down. You guys want to come pick up some spices? Is your shit bland at home right now? Are you having quarantine bland chicken? Are you boiling your chicken? Like,
hey, boiled chicken makes the best chicken salad, though. Let's not lie.
Get out of here.
No, for chicken salad, it's true. There's no other time other than like, I don't know, a sick dog or something that you would actually boil chicken. But for chicken salad, take it from a Southerner. You got to boil chicken. Audience, prove me wrong.
What are you asking the audience? Because I'm going to ask them now too. Are you like boiled chicken? Is that the question? Just
is there ever an acceptable time to boil chicken?
Never boiled chicken before.
I mean, chicken noodle soup, maybe.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about these two talking about their white man's burden of splitting a rent house membership.
There was no burden.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I split
the
one.
The only burden was we couldn't get twice the beer. We had to share. That was the only burden.
We only got one White Mountain Road, damn it.
That was the only real issue.
Hey, I'm curious.
That was great too.
I'm curious, by the way, just looking at our people that are watching right now. Where are you guys from? Everybody tell us where you're watching from, what city and state you're in. I want to see how far we've reached today. Where are you watching from?
You're just doing analytics.
Hey, this is all new to me. Fun employment has led to me starting this wonderful show, having fun guests, local. All have been local so far because Jack is here in Arizona, which is fantastic. Hopefully we'll get to have him on again sometime. We can talk to him about food. I'd love to have him on about food. So,
no, this has been fun to keep up with you guys. It's like, hey, friends.
Ooh, we got Kansas City, Missouri up in here.
Yeah, Chris says Amy and I are in the cloud. Awesome.
People of the cloud.
This guy says Bangladesh. I'm starting to think that if any of you get a private message from Dab Smith and he asks you for a bank routing number, don't give it to him. Don't do it.
But I could be rich, Yusuf.
Well, I mean, he doesn't.
He doesn't need a routing number. He just wants to know what street you grew up on.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And your mother's maiden name.
What is your mother's maiden name?
I'm just curious.
Hey, let's play listener trivia. Let's have everybody put their mother's name.
and just their email address for a newsletter.
Yeah. Just go ahead and listen alternate email too, just in case. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, so Jenny says she's in. Well, thanks for your bank writing number, Chris. Jenny says she's.
You posted it on the thing. You have to put it up on the screen.
And then
okay,
Tommy,
there's some chicken controversy on here. You guys,
I was
my idea.
Hold on, he's right. I was just gonna pull it up. Here it is.
Stefan would know.
Who is an amazing chef, and I can attest to this. I've been to his house. Aaron, his wife, is saying that Stefan is yelling that your chicken sounds right for enchiladas, but it is poaching, not boiling.
Sorry, I used the wrong word for putting chicken into boiling water.
Mea culpa.
Poor shame for putting a chicken in every pot.
A chicken in every pot.
Get out of here. Cheers to everyone who's still out there. We've got a few people still watching. Thanks for joining us. When this is over, you can rewind, you can restart, get a chance to watch our chat with Jack Maxwell from the travel channels, The Booze Traveler, and hear a little bit about what he's doing now, his next projects, that sort of thing. So if you joined us late, that'll be there, I promise. It'll be a lot of fun. Ken Colburn just sent me his MAC address, so I think I might be able to get into his phone with it. Thanks, Ken. I appreciate that. He says his address. It's not a routing number, but we'll figure it out. Hey, we've got someone watching from New Brunswick, Canada. Yo,
Oh, nice.
cheers to you, Kakromi.
Cheers to you, you hoser.
Yeah, hoser. Now you're alienating our guests, and that's not nice. Okay, don't be that guy.
That's my job.
Don't worry, they're sitting there not at all affected because of their much more robust stimulus plans. So it's all good. Water off a duck's back.
Adam, you've Ledford, you've caused a ruckus here. Now we've got people saying you got to brine your chicken first. This is a show about social distance and having a cocktail, and now it's basically like being at the bar. We're arguing about how to make chicken.
Mission accomplished.
Problem solved.
Flight suit, flight deck. Let's do this thing. Run the banner, boys. Mission accomplished.
Chicken has been a subject of conversation in at least 40% of our episodes so far.
It's all
did well.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Chris McBeth, who actually says that he's in Cave Creek, which is sort of like the middle of nowhere. Anyone who does live that far, it's not Central Phoenix, Adam, just so you know.
Oh, I know. Cave Creek's way north. Way north. Like, I'm Central Phoenix compared to Cave Creek. Brett, you know it's true.
Hey, Brett, I need you to
Yes.
I need you to apologize to our Canadian friend because he says sorry. Eh? So
Sorry.
go ahead.
I'm sorry, pal. You seem real nice.
Dude, one time I was on a vacation. We were in Canada. We were in Vancouver, and we were on a bus. And the driver's like, sorry, but I'm not going to say your stereotypical Canadian things. It's like, oh. Like, he wouldn't say A or what, like, he just wouldn't do it. I'm like, this sucks.
I'm sorry, man.
To be fair, my fiance is a Canuck, and she literally poked her head out the door and said she heard through the open window and said that was rude. It's very Canadian.
Just now, just like when you said hoser, she popped her head out.
Yeah, that was when I was saying that. Yeah.
But she said it in a very nice way, I'm sure.
Sorry, it was rude. I'm sorry.
Basically,
Like, I'm so
I'm sorry. You're so rude.
Also, now I have to say sorry. I can't see your gender on here. I'm sorry. I read Chromie and thought like one of the homie Chromies, but it is a she. Thank you for watching.
Hey, shout out to Canada. The most beautiful place I've ever been in my entire life is Banff, Alberta, Canada, and that's my snap my fingers could live there tomorrow. Like I would be there instantly if it was a possibility.
Which begs the question, and I'm going to ask the audience: if you could be anywhere right now, where would you teleport to instantly? I'm curious. Let's find out. Banff, I've heard is very nice. I haven't been, but let's ask the audience. Also, Heath Miller said that some alcohol is distilled with chicken. You creep me out, Heath. We'll get back to that in a minute. I want to know if you could be anywhere right now for any of you guys watching, where would you teleport to instantly? Instantly. Adam Green, where would you go?
Safely to a place where all you guys are. I don't care where I am. I just miss my friends.
I was hoping Adam would say to Eustace Mom's house.
Yeah, I went there. Huh?
Oh, but see, now, Brett, you were rude, looking down at you Brady Bunch style. You're an ass.
And he went there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Adam.
Well, I don't have places. I don't have like a dream place where I would go. Like, it's all about who I'm with everywhere I've ever been. Like, the most fun I've ever had has nothing to do with the place. It's about the with whom. So, where I'm at in life right now, that's all I really focus on.
And that brings me back to what Jack was saying earlier. Like, you travel and you talk about all the sights you see and everything, but the things that I remember, the people I've met, and like the experiences I've had. If I could go anywhere right this second, if I could teleport somewhere, it would be to the south of Spain. I don't care if it's Sevilla or Granada. I would just want to be in Andalusia. But of course, I'm culturally tied to the south of Spain since I'm Berber/Moorish, and the Moors kind of built that whole place. So,
I believe it's the Moot.
the Moot no is different people, my friend. Do not poo-poo on us. Brett, where would you go right now if you could teleport anywhere?
I mean, if I was going to be socially where there's not that many people. I was thinking when Jack was talking, one of my fondest memories of drinking and meeting random people was at the Pineapple Farm in Hawaii. and there was a bar there where the old farm was. They basically just grow their own fruits and things like that. That's the ingredients and vegetables for the restaurant and the bar. And there was a bartender lady there that was making some of the best cocktails I've ever had in my life. And there was a nice group of girls that was traveling from Canada. Actually, they were across the bar, and we all just, there's nothing better to me than going to a cocktail bar and just asking the bartender to make what you want, right? And like when they continually just hit it out of the park. And I forget the lady's name, but she just kept bringing drink after drink that was just fan-freaking-tastic.
Do you think they got better because you kept drinking?
No,
Each one was better than the last.
I was drinking most of that trip. But,
I'm really enjoying this one. What's it called? It's water, sir.
I mean,
you guys make great water. It's so nice.
I mean, you have some tropical cocktails with fruit that was literally just taken, from 15 feet away in the middle of Hawaii. It tastes real nice.
There you go.
So my friend just commented Bora Bora. That's one of those like picture book places for me. Like this is maybe another question for another show, but like there's things that are easily attainable financially for you, or not easily, but they're attainable financially, but maybe you grew up not in the same station and you go, oh, I could never do that. There are a few destinations, Bora Bora being one of them, like Maldives, I would say, where like we could go, like we could plan that, we could save for that, but like Bora Bora is just like one of those, oh, that's where princes and CEOs of world conglomerate corporations go. Well, I could never go to Bora Bora.
You could definitely go to Bora Bora. You could do it on points, actually, and I could tell you how, but that would be a whole different show. Shout out to any of the points blogs if they want to give me a holler. If you need some help, I could use the work.
Dude, Adam,
Yusuf's already concerned
like that.
status.
Like,
Hang on, Adam, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, there's so many things like that. When you're growing up, you think I can't afford it. That's for rich people. I remember thinking growing up, like, man, if only I could one day own a Corvette. It's like I grew up. I'm like, I still can't. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, that's a Chevy. I should be able to afford that one day.
Can I take a moment to just laugh at this with you? And Jennifer is also laughing. You grew up and you were like, man, I wish I could have a Corvette. I'm pretty sure I've got cousins overseas who are like, man, I wish we had electricity today.
I understand that. I mean, everything's, and it's, but like to Adam's point though, there's always those things that growing up like, oh, that's for the rich.
I just like guilting you, and it's fun.
I'm Jewish. I get enough guilt from the rest of my family. You can't faze me.
All right, Brett, what were you saying? What were you saying, Brett?
What was I saying? Something I was having an Arizona bee come after my Arizona beehive right here.
Ooh,
that's what, like
good stuff.
Nice. How is that beehive, by the way, Brett?
It is tasty. We can. I still have at least another can to that, and once this all blows over, we can have some.
I think we can order it online right now.
Oh, that's true.
I wonder if Ren House delivers to Tucson.
They might.
For Adam Ledford, maybe.
I honestly I want one of those ground control chicken sandwiches so badly.
Yeah.
I may be making the trip. I won't touch anybody. I won't be anywhere close to anybody, but I might order a few bottles and a few sandwiches to go and try to treat myself.
Can you let us know when you're doing that so we could join you, but at least 6 feet away from you when you go over there?
Everybody says it's not a great idea. We'll figure it out. If we keep a 10-foot minimum, maybe we'll appease the.
We could do the show live from ground control, only all of us on our computers at different tables or whatever, all across the establishment.
Then you could actually throw the beer to Yusuf, Adam.
Yeah, then you could.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Except for then you'd have to sanitize it once he caught it.
If only he lived in this. My cat can't throw beer, otherwise that gag would be hilarious because I could be like, Adam, throw me a beer, and then a beer just shows up in my hands.
The other way.
Let's work on this offline. Yeah,
I agree. I think we should. So I'm going to pose one last question to the audience. We're over an hour now, and
Jason Ely, I got you. I got you for Chicken Man.
I hate pushing this thing past an hour. Thank you guys for hanging in there. Again, if you guys are just joining us, I saw some people drop out and come on in. Watch the episode again when this thing ends. If you missed Jack Maxwell with us, the Booze Traveler, Travel Channel, He's working on some new stuff. It's a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll get to work with him on some cool music stuff eventually too. Brett, Adam, and Pizza Box Adam.
I'm good at the pizza box. All right.
You play a mean pizza box. So last question. Favorite takeout or delivery order this week in quarantine life? What did you get? Adam Green.
All we got was a Costco pizza.
You waited 4.5 hours in line to get a Costco pizza?
I went to Costco to see if whatever they had, and we got a couple of things. And like, oh, we don't want to make food tonight. Let's pick up a pizza. So I'm sorry.
Costco lines are worse than like Space Mountain right now.
Why do we go on like a Thursday evening? No one's there.
I'll throw one out that's relevant to Tucson and Phoenix. I took advantage of the Fox Restaurant Concepts 35% off takeout. So we went to Zen Burger, and I got a lot of food for like $40 and tipped generously. But yeah, that's if you go online, they have their own little online portal. They are military. I will say, like, in a world where we should be taking this seriously, they were taking it extremely in the world.
Well, and I will say,
like, they had numbered parking spots. They would not let anybody come inside. They were wearing gloves. They were well back from the vehicle when figuring out what your name was and what your order was. I highly recommend, even if you're someone who's on the threshold of paranoia about takeout or getting food from anywhere other than you make it yourself, I think that they are taking every precaution I can see someone being taken. So yeah, Fox Restaurant Concept. So that's Zen Burger, that's Blanco, that's Culinary Dropout, that's
which is actually all owned by Cheesecake Factory now. So congratulations.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure they sold all of their restaurant concepts,
except one. I can't remember which one, but
God damn it.
Brett, favorite takeout food?
So I think it's gonna be split today because Ellie this morning got up early and went and got Matt's Big Breakfast for my birthday breakfast, which was fantastic. And because I love breakfast food and Matt's Big Breakfast is goddamn delicious. And then I think I'm looking forward to tonight. We're gonna do, I think, order a pizza and pasta from the parlor, which is also makes really low-key great cocktails at the parlor. One of those we're trying to support those local places to make sure they stay open after this all blows over. It's one of those places that I love the most, so I'm really excited for that.
Speaking of which, by the way, I think I'm going to try and reach out and see if we can't do a chat with one of my favorite restaurants, the Breadfruit. They're amazing. Them and several other restaurants in the Phoenix area are definitely in a situation where they're concerned about whether or not they're going to be able to reopen, and I want to give them as much love as we can, but also get them on the show to talk about something a little serious while we have a drink as well. So doing that. So to answer everybody's question as well, for me, my takeout I did this week, I did some stuff from the Hidden House, and then I did like a local Thai joint. It was like called Thai Chili to Go or something, just because I was in the mood for curry, you know? So
no kebabs?
I can make those at home. That ain't takeout. That's make-in. Okay? So.
Oh, Sam Frazier enjoying some ground control hot chicken right now.
What a guy.
Oh, man. Sam. First, miss you, buddy. Second,
that's a good flex.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch. Guys, I could go for some hot chicken. I actually, full disclosure, I woke up this morning and I must have had like one of those. I didn't really eat dinner last night. I woke up this morning and I was like, God, hot chicken would absolutely do it for me. And I dug through my freezer and found some of those frozen chicken tenders that are like covered in barbecue sauce and just threw them in the oven. I made coffee and pre-show testing everything out, and then went to go check in with Jack, and I was just like, chicken tendies. No.
Oh, that's why you're trying to rap right now. It all comes clear. Toilet paper and chicken have been all you've been thinking about for the last 20 minutes.
Well, that's that's why I'm rapping.
By the way, I liked that voice use. If it sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger having a stroke.
I think the chicken tenders is so good.
I like the chicken tendies though, because it made me think of the child and his thing for chicken nuggets and chicken tendies. Yeah. So, you know,
Chris, we'll have to talk soon. I saw that your comment about breadfruit, and I do want to talk to Dwayne and Danielle soon. So, guys, for those of you who are still here, thank you guys so much for joining us. Share this, with everybody. If you haven't already commented, you can still comment when the show's over and let us know what your favorite takeout or delivery order was this week. I think our next episode, we're looking at Wednesday, right, guys? We're going to do either Wednesday or Thursday.
Sure.
So we'll be back in a few days. In the meantime, we're going to cut some cool highlights and post some funny stuff. Like, comment, share, smash that subscribe button that doesn't exist. Actually, it does now. We're on YouTube, so please.
Hey.
I don't know where it is, but I don't know. Where would it be normally?
I think it's probably under Adam Ledford's left nipple.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do this.
Brett,
Smash that subscribe button right there. All right, there, I did it.
Brett,
So-
Adam left.
Oh, we missed it.
Not
Damn.
bad.
What happened?
I popped out my left nipple to demonstrate where it was.
Well,
Listen, I looked earlier. It's not there.
Thank you,
I
Heath,
can
for
confirm.
joining us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. You guys I'm so happy to have you guys. We'll do another social happy hour. On behalf of everyone who is here, cheers. And this has been, wait a minute, there's some branding in there. The Social Distance Drinking Club, featuring our guest, Jack Maxwell. We appreciate you guys. Salute.
Cheers.
Did we get it?
At